Hello, happy travelers!
We are super excited to announce that we are hosting a group trip to travel with you guys to, that's a drum roll, to Egypt.
We recently did a group trip to Costa Rica with a company called TrovaTrip, and we had such an incredible time that we decided to do another trip with the same company.
We are going on this crazy adventure in February of 2024. It'll be a 9-day tour from February 8th to February 16th.
All transportation and all accommodation is included, and the majority of your meals.
This trip includes an Egyptologist tour guide that will stay with us the entire duration of the tour. So we'll always have someone there to answer our questions and be there if we need them.
There are 16 included activities, some of which are visiting the pyramids of Giza, going to the Valley of the Kings, visit King Tut's tomb, taking a traditional sailboat down the Nile,
taking an adventure on an Egyptian sleeper train, which even we've never done before, which we're super excited about. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is taken care of, from the transportation to the accommodations to the itinerary. The only things you might have to do are figure out a meal or two when we have a little bit of free time.
We went to Egypt in 2016, and it is one of the most incredible, rewarding places to travel. But it is also somewhere that you definitely want to have a tour guide. It's just one of those places that's so much easier to do with a tour guide.
We picked this trip because we think it is the perfect combination of luxury and adventure. We're going to be staying in some really awesome hotels, but also doing some really adventurous stuff. So where you're going to be flying into, obviously, is Cairo. You might not know this, but Cairo actually has a population of about 30 million people, which is insane. So there are a lot of flights that go there from all around the world.
Day one is all about arriving into Cairo and getting to your hotel. TrovaTrip will meet you at the airport.
I believe there will be 2 or 3 pickup times depending on when people get in.
There's no activities on the first day except for a welcome dinner, which we will all be having together, where you get to meet everyone else that is on the group trip. Now let's talk about our accommodation. From our trip to Egypt back in 2016, we know the standard of Egyptian hotels is not quite on par with what Americans are used to. In other words, a 3-star hotel in Egypt is not the same as a 3-star hotel in America.
We definitely learned this the hard way with a couple of nightmarish hotel stays in Egypt. So we opted to upgrade the itinerary to a 5-star itinerary so we could make sure that we were staying in the best hotels in every city we visit. As we said before, Egypt is a really challenging place to visit, and we want to make sure that the hotels are really comfortable so you can come back and have a respite from the craziness that is Egypt. Also, we loved working with TrovaTrip the first time. Our main complaint was probably about the accommodations. By upgrading to 5-star, we wanted to make extra sure that our hotels were really going to be awesome. Especially if you guys are going to come with us and do this once in a lifetime opportunity, we want to make sure everything is amazing for you.
The first night we're going to be staying at the Hyatt Regency Cairo West, which from all the research we've done looks like a really incredible property. It looks very clean, very modern, very comfortable. On the second day of our trip, we're going to be visiting the pyramids of Giza.
Just starting straight from the gate, just doing it. The pyramids.
In addition to going to these very famous pyramids, we'll also be riding camels out the back of the pyramids, which we personally have done, and it was one of the coolest travel experiences we've ever had. Also, right next to the pyramids of Giza is the Sphinx, so we'll be going to visit that as well. And then we will be heading to the Grand Egyptian Museum for a tour.
It's an incredible museum with obviously tons of Egyptian artifacts, as well as the most famous one, which is King Tut's death mask, which I'm sure you've seen pictures of before. Super cool.
That night we'll be staying in the same hotel, the Hyatt Regency West Cairo, for one more night.
Day 3 is actually filled with activities that we have not done before, so that'll be a new experience for us. It's the pyramids of Sakara, which are a little bit outside of Cairo.
The oldest known pyramid dates back to 2700 BC.
The Zoser Step Pyramid, not to be confused with Gozer from Ghostbusters.
We will also be visiting the Memphis Outdoor Museum, which was the original capital of the Egyptian Empire.
That'll take up a lot of the day, and then we're gonna have a pretty adventurous night because we're gonna be taking a sleeper train down to Aswan.
I'm really excited about this sleeper train. I think it's gonna be a once in a lifetime experience. I don't know quite what to expect, but it's gonna be really, really fun, I'm sure.
That's another of the reasons we wanted to upgrade to 5-star hotels, because a couple of these nights are pretty adventurous, and we wanted to make sure when we were staying in hotels, like we said, that they were very comfortable after being on a sleeper train all night.
Once we arrive in Aswan, the rest of the day is just to relax and recuperate, except for that night when we'll be going to a Nubian dinner party.
We should mention that all breakfasts are included at all of our hotels, plus on the sleeper train, so we won't ever have to worry about breakfast. We can just relax in our hotel and do that.
The Nubian city of Aswan is a whole different cultural experience. They have brightly colored blue houses and really unique architecture. It's just a beautiful city that's right on the Nile, and we really enjoyed our time there when we visited before.
There were just camels running through the streets.
It's a definite big difference from Cairo, and I think it's gonna be really great.
Yeah, a little bit sleepier.
That night we'll be staying at the Movenpick Aswan Resort. All Movenpicks that we've been to in the past are incredible properties. Looking at the photos of this one, it looks like the resort is actually in the middle of the Nile River on a little island. Day 5 is a pure relaxation day. There's no scheduled activities. You get to just do whatever you want. You can hang out at the resort, you can venture out on your own and explore the city. That's something that we really wanted to include in this trip. Costa Rica was amazing, but there wasn't really any downtime. And we felt like with all that activity, you definitely needed some downtime.
It was tiring. It was very tiring. It was super fun, but trust me, days off might sound boring, but in the middle of an Egyptian trip, you'll need it. Staying in a really nice hotel, so.
Yeah, that was important for us to at least have one completely down day. Day 6, we venture out and board our traditional sailboat called a felucca.
We'll be sailing down the Nile, which is so incredible. We took a short boat ride on our last trip to Egypt, and we can't imagine what an entire day sailing along will be like. Definitely something not to be missed.
We'll be eating all of our meals on this traditional sailboat and spending the night under the stars on the Nile River. It's gonna be awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. That's one thing we did not do on our last trip. So.
No, and we wish we had.
The felucca boat will be sailing overnight from Aswan to Luxor, which is also another amazing Egyptian city. You might have heard of it.
When we arrive in Luxor, the first thing that we're gonna be doing is a tour of the Temple of Karnak. Karnak was one of our favorite temples that we visited on our trip to Egypt before, and we can't wait to go back again.
It was incredible. I definitely can't wait to go back a second time.
That night we'll be staying at the Sonesta St. George Luxor Hotel.
This hotel is located right on the Nile, so the views are going to be incredible. Just as a disclaimer, these are the hotels that we've been given that are on the itinerary right now. There's always a small chance that these could be changed. So as of right now, this is the information that we have. It could be different closer to the time of the trip.
Day 8 is all about the west bank of Luxor and the Valley of the Kings. The Valley of the Kings is a giant burial site for a lot of the pharaohs and kings of ancient Egypt, including King Tut. We'll be able to go inside King Tut's tomb, which is just incredible. It's one of the most famous Egyptian places ever discovered.
Last time we were there, we went in October and it was pretty hot. So going in February will be absolutely perfect because as far as I can understand, the average high temperature is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which sounds perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect temperature. We will also be visiting the Temple of Hatshepsut and the Colossi of Memnon. We'll then be going to a local Luxor family's home to have a home-cooked lunch before catching our flight back to Cairo.
The domestic flight is included in the trip fee.
Once we land in Cairo, we'll be checking back into the Hyatt Regency Cairo West. On the 9th day, it's our last day. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. After breakfast at the hotel, TrovaTrip will arrange several transports back to the airport.
Or you can stay in Egypt longer if you want. Still lots to see.
Oh. But we're really excited. This is going to be an incredible trip. If you have any questions about the itinerary at all, please hit us up in the comments. Please let us know if you're interested. We would love to go travel with you.
And we'll be linking any and all information we have in the description below to lead you to the website to take a look at this itinerary and also eventually to book it.
All right, happy travelers. Hopefully we'll see you in Egypt.
This is Kelly and Kevin from The Awkward Tourists. Peace out.
Hello, happy travelers.
We are super excited to announce that we are hosting a group trip to travel with you guys, our audience, to Egypt. And the best part about it is, once you get there, you don't have to worry about everything. Everything is taken care of.
You said everything. You don't have to worry about everything.
Oh, you don't have to worry about everything. You have to worry about nothing. We'll be sailing up the beautiful Nile, which is one of the most incredible...
Down the Nile.
Down the Nile.